The unexpected war. Captain Alex stared out at the strange landscape of the deserted planet. It was his first mission in deep space, and everything felt exciting yet eerie. The sky was a mix of purple and orange, casting an unusual glow on the rocky terrain. Alex had landed on this planet to gather data for the Earth Federation, but he never expected what would happen next. As he moved cautiously through the rocky path, a low rumble echoed in the distance. Suddenly, blaster fire erupted around him. Alex quickly ducked behind a large boulder, heart racing. The sounds of battle filled the air, and he realized he had walked straight into an ambush. Distant shouts and blaster shots made it clear that this was no ordinary mission. It was war. Alex peered over the boulder, trying to make sense of the chaos. He saw a group of strange-looking soldiers, aliens with blue skin and sharp weapons. They moved swiftly, attacking anyone who crossed their path. It was clear they were searching for something or someone. Just then, he spotted two alien girls, Zara and Lyra, trapped in the middle of the fight. They were cornered, and fear filled their eyes. Without thinking, Alex sprang into action. He couldn't just watch. He had been trained for combat, and now he had to use those skills to save them. He took a deep breath, remembered his training, and planned his approach. With careful movements, he flanked the attackers, using the element of surprise to his advantage. As he charged forward, Alex fired his blaster, hitting one of the alien soldiers. The enemy turned, shocked to see a human in the middle of their fight. This distraction gave Zara and Lyra the chance they needed. They darted toward Alex, who signaled for them to follow him. "Come on," he shouted, leading the way through the rocky terrain. The three of them ran as fast as they could, dodging blasts that flew past them. Alex could hear the aliens shouting, but he kept pushing forward. He had to get them to safety. They finally reached a small cave hidden behind some rocks. Alex ushered Zara and Lyra inside, his heart still racing. Once inside, they crouched down, catching their breath. The cave was dark, but they could hear the sounds of battle still echoing outside. Zara looked at Alex with wide eyes. "You saved us," she exclaimed, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and gratitude. Lyra nodded, still breathing heavily. Alex smiled, trying to calm them. "I couldn't just leave you there. We need to figure out what's happening." As they waited, the sounds of the battle grew louder, but soon faded. Alex's mind raced with questions. Who were those aliens? Why were they attacking? And what did they want with Zara and Lyra? He knew they needed to stay hidden until it was safe. After a few minutes of silence, Alex decided it was time to plan their next move. "We need to find a way off this planet," he said, looking at the two girls. "But first, we have to understand what we're dealing with. Can you tell me what just happened out there?" Zara nodded, her expression serious. "Those soldiers are from a warlike race. They think we are weak and want to capture us. They believe our kind is not pure and want to use us for their own purposes." Alex frowned, realizing the gravity of the situation. "We can't let that happen. We have to fight back." Lyra looked worried but determined. "We have to find our people. They can help us." With a newfound sense of purpose, Alex, Zara, and Lyra formed a plan. They would gather information, find a way to escape, and protect each other. The unexpected war had thrown them together, but they were determined to fight for their survival. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of their journey. The battle had brought them together, and together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. The rescuer. Inside the dark cave, Captain Alex listened intently to Zara and Lyra. The reality of their situation sank in. He had saved them from danger, but they were not out of trouble yet. The sounds of the battle outside were fading, but the threat was still very real. Alex knew they had to move quickly. "Are you two okay?" he asked, checking for injuries. Zara nodded, but Lyra looked a bit shaken. "We're fine, just scared," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex took a moment to gather his thoughts. We need to find a way to contact my ship. If we can send a signal, we might get help. He remembered that his communicator was still in his pocket, but the device was designed for long-range communication, not for this planet's harsh conditions. Is there a way to make a signal from here? Zara asked, her eyes bright with hope. We have to try. Let's look around, Alex said. They began to explore the cave, using what little light came from a small opening above them. The walls were rough, and Alex felt the chill in the air. He turned to Zara and Lyra. Keep an eye out for anything useful. As they searched, Alex's mind raced. He had always been trained for combat and survival, but this was different. He had never fought alongside aliens before. Zara and Lyra were not just allies, they were now his friends. He wanted to protect them at all costs. Suddenly, Zara shouted, "Look!" She pointed to a pile of old equipment in the corner of the cave. It looked like the remains of a long-abandoned outpost. There were wires, metal scraps, and what appeared to be a small device. "What is it?" Alex asked, moving closer to examine the device. "It looks like a distress beacon," Lyra said, her voice filled with excitement. "If we can fix it, it might send out a signal for help." Alex's heart raced. Let's get to work. Together, they dug through the pile, finding useful parts. Alex had some knowledge of mechanics, but working with alien technology was new for him. Zara and Lyra guided him, explaining how their technology worked. The teamwork felt natural, and Alex was grateful for their help. Minutes turned into an hour as they worked. Sweat dripped from Alex's brow, but he pushed through. He could feel the pressure building. Every second counted, and he didn't want to think about the dangers lurking outside. Finally, they pieced the device together. "It's ready," Zara exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with hope. "Okay, let's send the signal," Alex said, his voice steady. He pressed the button on the beacon, and a low hum filled the cave. The small device began to light up, sending out a signal into the vastness of space. They all held their breath, waiting for a response. After a tense moment, the beacon beeped. It worked. Lyra shouted, jumping with joy. Just then, a loud noise echoed from outside the cave. The sound of heavy footsteps and voices approached. "They're coming," Alex said, his heart racing. He quickly hid the beacon under some rocks, hoping it wouldn't be discovered. "Get ready to move," he instructed. The girls nodded, fear in their eyes, but determination on their faces. They peered out of the cave entrance. The alien soldiers were searching the area, looking for them. Alex realized they had to distract them to make their escape. He quickly thought of a plan. "I'll create a diversion. You two stay here and be ready to run when I signal." Zara opened her mouth to protest, but Alex shook his head. "Trust me. I can do this. I won't let them take you." With that, Alex stepped out from the cave, drawing the attention of the soldiers. He yelled, "Over here," and took off running in the opposite direction. The soldiers turned, chasing after him. Alex glanced back, seeing Zara and Lyra waiting in the shadows. He felt a surge of determination. He was their rescuer now, and he would do everything to keep them safe. As he led the soldiers away, he knew they had to stick together, and this was just the beginning of their fight. The bonding. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm golden light over the rocky landscape as Captain Alex darted behind a cluster of boulders, his heart racing from the chase. The alien soldiers had followed him for a while, but finally seemed to lose his trail. Breathing heavily, he crouched down, trying to gather his thoughts. After a few tense moments, Alex carefully peeked around the boulder. He spotted Zora and Lyra emerging from the cave, their faces marked with worry. Relief washed over him as he signaled for them to join him. They quickly made their way to his side, their expressions a mix of fear and admiration. "You did it," Zora exclaimed, her eyes shining. "You distracted them." "I had to," Alex replied, feeling a sense of pride swell within him. But we're not safe yet. We need to keep moving. Together, they moved cautiously through the rocky terrain, making their way deeper into the wilderness of the planet. As they walked, they stayed close, sharing whispered stories and nervous laughter to ease the tension. The bond between them grew stronger with each step. After a while, they found a hidden spot between two large rocks, a perfect place to rest. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. It was beautiful, and for a moment, they forgot about the dangers that surrounded them. "I never thought I would be running for my life with a human," Lyra said, a hint of a smile on her lips. Alex chuckled, feeling lighter. "I never thought I would be saving two alien girls, but here we are." Zara looked at him, her expression serious. "Thank you for saving us, Alex. You risked your life for us. That means a lot." "It was nothing," he replied, waving his hand dismissively. "I couldn't let anything happen to you. You both have shown me that there's more to this world than I ever imagined." As they rested, they began to share more about their lives. Zara talked about her home planet, a place filled with lush forests and sparkling lakes. "We have a beautiful way of life," she explained. "We believe in harmony with nature. It's hard for me to see my people in danger." Lyra nodded. "We don't want to be captured. We want to protect our culture and our way of life." Her voice was filled with determination. "That's why we fought back." Alex felt a surge of respect for them. "You're both so brave. It takes courage to stand up for what you believe in." "Just like you," Zora said softly. "You didn't have to help us, but you did. You put yourself at risk." Their eyes met, and for a moment, there was an understanding between them that went beyond words. They were no longer just a human and two aliens. They were allies, bound together by their shared experiences and struggles. As night fell, they sat together, sharing stories and laughter. They talked about their dreams, their hopes, and the future they wanted to build. Alex realized how much he enjoyed their company. He felt a warmth spreading in his chest, a sense of belonging that he hadn't felt in a long time. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed in the distance, breaking the peaceful moment. They all froze, their hearts pounding. "We need to be quiet," Alex whispered urgently. They huddled closer together, listening intently for any signs of danger. As the night wore on, they took turns keeping watch, but their spirits remained high. They shared jokes and stories to distract themselves from the fear that loomed over them. In those moments of bonding, Alex knew that no matter what happened next, they would face it together. The unexpected war had brought them together, and now they were more than just allies. They were friends. The demand. As dawn broke over the strange planet, the light filtered through the rocks, casting long shadows across the ground. Captain Alex, Zara, and Lyra had spent a restless night, sharing stories and watching for dangers. But now, with the morning sun rising, they needed to figure out their next steps. After a quick breakfast of ration packs, Alex gathered the girls. "We should find a safer place. There might still be enemy patrols nearby," he said, scanning the horizon. Zara nodded, her face serious. "But we need to get back to our people. They need to know what happened." Lyra looked concerned. "We can't go back without a plan. The soldiers are searching for us, and we have to be careful." As they began to move, the tension in the air was palpable. Alex felt a sense of responsibility for Zara and Lyra. He had saved them once, but he knew they needed more than just a protector. They needed a plan. Hours passed as they trekked through the rocky terrain. Finally, they found a hidden grove surrounded by tall trees. It felt peaceful, and for a moment, they could relax. But Alex sensed something was coming, something important. After a few minutes, Zara took a deep breath. "Alex, can we talk?" "Of course," he replied, curiosity flickering in his eyes. He noticed a serious look on her face, which made him uneasy. "What's on your mind?" Zara exchanged glances with Lyra before speaking. "We are grateful for everything you've done. You saved our lives. But there is something we need to discuss." "What is it?" Alex asked, his heart pounding. He sensed that whatever they were about to say was significant. Lyra spoke up, her voice firm. "In our culture, purity is very important. It represents strength and honor. We believe that by sharing our purity, we create a bond that is unbreakable." Alex raised an eyebrow, unsure where this conversation was heading. "I don't understand," he admitted. Zara took a step closer. "We want to offer you something in return for saving us. We want to give you our purity. It means we are connected, united against our enemies. It's a serious commitment in our culture." Alex felt a rush of confusion and surprise. This was not what he had expected. "Wait, you want to give me your purity? But why?" Lyra explained, "To us, it is not just a physical act. It's a promise, a way to show trust and loyalty. We know this is different for you, but we want to stand together as one." Alex took a step back, his mind racing. He had never considered such a thing. "I appreciate the offer, but I don't think this is the right time. We are in danger. We need to focus on getting you both to safety." Zara's expression changed, a mix of disappointment and understanding. "We know this is a lot to ask, but after everything we've been through, we feel a strong connection to you. We want to be partners in this fight." Lyra nodded, her eyes pleading. "We believe this could strengthen our bond. It would make us stronger against the threats we face." Alex felt the weight of their words. He respected their culture, but he was not sure he was ready for such a commitment. "I care about both of you. I want to protect you. But I need time to think about this." Zara's expression softened. "We understand. It's a big decision, but know that we want to fight alongside you, no matter what." With that, they decided to put the conversation aside for now. They needed to stay focused on their escape and survival. As they prepared to leave the grove, Alex felt a mix of emotions: honor, confusion, and a growing bond with the two alien girls. Whatever happened next, he knew their connection would only deepen, and they would face their challenges together. The unexpected war had forged a unique friendship, one that would change all their lives forever. The decision. The sun climbed higher in the sky, illuminating the rocky landscape as Captain Alex, Zara, and Lyra continued their journey through the alien wilderness. Though they moved cautiously, Alex's mind was preoccupied with the conversation he had shared with the girls. The offer of their purity weighed heavily on his thoughts. He respected their culture, but he also felt a strong sense of responsibility for their safety. As they walked, Zara and Lyra chatted quietly, their voices filled with a mix of hope and worry. Alex felt a sense of unity growing between them, yet he couldn't shake off the uncertainty of their situation. They needed a safe place and time to think about the offer. After several hours of trekking, they stumbled upon an abandoned building half buried in the sand. It was old and covered in vines, but it seemed sturdy enough. "Let's check this out," Alex suggested. "We can rest and figure out our next move." Inside, the air was cool, and the walls were lined with strange symbols. The building appeared to be a long-forgotten outpost. It was a little eerie, but it offered the shelter they desperately needed. Once inside, they took a moment to catch their breath. Alex leaned against the wall, glancing at the girls. "We need to talk about what happened earlier," he said. "It's important." Zara and Lyra exchanged looks, clearly nervous. "We want to know what you think," Zara said, her voice steady but filled with anticipation. "I care about both of you," Alex began, choosing his words carefully. "What you offered me is significant in your culture, and I respect that. But I need time to understand what that means for us. We're in a war zone, and our priority should be getting you to safety." Lyra nodded, her expression understanding but serious. "We know this is a dangerous time, but our offer is also about creating a bond. If we don't strengthen our connection, we might not survive." Alex felt torn. On one hand, he wanted to protect them and honor their culture. On the other hand, he was afraid of rushing into something he didn't fully understand. "I understand your perspective," he said slowly, "but I also believe we should focus on surviving first. We can talk about this later." Zora's eyes softened. "You're right. We need to stay alive. But know that our offer comes from a place of trust and respect. We see you as our ally, maybe even more than that." Feeling the weight of her words, Alex took a deep breath. "I appreciate that. I want to earn your trust, too. Let's keep working together to find your people. We'll figure this out as we go." As they discussed their next steps, they began to search the building for any supplies or clues about the area. They found some old equipment and a map, dusty but still usable. It showed a path to a nearby settlement where Zara and Lyra might find their people. "This is it," Lyra exclaimed, pointing to the map. "If we can reach this place, we might be safe." "Then that's our goal," Alex declared, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "We'll head there first, and we can figure out our next steps when we're in a safer spot." With the plan set, they packed their things and prepared to leave the building. As they stepped outside, Alex glanced at the girls. "No matter what happens, we'll face it together. I won't let anything happen to you." Zara smiled, her confidence shining through. "We believe in you, Alex. Together, we can overcome anything." As they continued their journey, Alex felt a bond growing between them. They were no longer just a human soldier and two alien girls. They were a team. With each step, he realized that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as one. And that was a promise he intended to keep. The cultural clash. As the trio set off from the abandoned building, Captain Alex led the way, following the map's worn lines toward the nearby settlement. The path twisted through rocky hills and dense thickets, filled with strange plants and unusual sounds. Every so often, they would stop to catch their breath, the tension of their situation hanging in the air. The landscape was breathtaking but alien. Alex couldn't help but marvel at the vivid colors and peculiar shapes of the plants around him. Zara and Lyra, walking close behind, chatted about their world, their voices mixing with the rustling leaves and distant animal calls. "Our planet is so different from yours," Zara said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We have forests that sing when the wind blows through the trees, and the flowers glow at night, illuminating everything." "Sounds magical," Alex replied, smiling at her enthusiasm. "But it must also come with its own challenges." Lyra chimed in, "Yes, we have our problems. The war has changed everything. We are losing our connection to nature and to each other. That's why we're fighting to protect what we have left." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "It's hard to fight against something that threatens your way of life. I understand that. I've seen it on Earth too." As they continued their journey, the atmosphere shifted. The sun dipped lower in the sky, and the air became tense. Alex could sense that they were getting closer to the settlement. He wondered how Zara and Lyra would be received. Would their people understand the alliance between a human and two aliens? Finally, they crested a hill and saw the settlement in the valley below. It was a cluster of structures, some made of wood and others of strange metallic materials, glowing softly in the evening light. The sight filled Zara and Lyra with hope, but Alex felt a knot in his stomach. "Remember, we need to be careful," he cautioned. "Your people might not trust me right away." Zara nodded, her expression serious. "We'll explain everything. They will understand if we show them the truth." They made their way down the hill, approaching the settlement. As they neared, they were met with curious gazes from the inhabitants. Most of the aliens had blue skin, like Zara and Lyra, but each had unique features. Some had long hair, while others had colorful markings on their faces. "Stay close," Alex whispered, feeling the weight of their stares. The villagers whispered among themselves, their expressions a mix of curiosity and suspicion. Zara stepped forward, her voice steady. "Everyone, we have returned. We bring news from the war and a friend from another world." At the mention of a human, gasps echoed through the crowd. Alex could see a few warriors step forward, their expressions hardening. "What do you mean, a human?" one of them demanded, stepping out from the crowd. His eyes narrowed as he studied Alex. "He saved us," Lyra added quickly. "He risked his life to protect us from the soldiers. He is not our enemy." There was a tense silence as the villagers exchanged glances. Alex felt their distrust. It was palpable, like a cold wind blowing through the valley. He took a step forward, hands raised in a gesture of peace. "I mean no harm," he said, his voice steady. "I'm here to help. I want to fight alongside you to protect your world from the invaders." The crowd murmured, uncertain. Some looked skeptical, while others appeared intrigued. Zara and Lyra stood beside him, their eyes pleading for understanding. Finally, an elder with silver hair stepped forward. "We have heard tales of humans," she said, her voice calm but firm. "Some say they are brave and honorable, while others warn us of their greed and ambition. How do we know you are different?" Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their expectations. "You don't know me, and I understand your doubt. But I fought to save your people, and I stand here now, ready to protect your home. We all want the same thing, peace and safety." The elder studied him carefully. "Your words are brave, human. But words alone cannot change our minds. You must prove your loyalty. We will not let you into our settlement until we are certain you are trustworthy." A wave of frustration washed over Alex, but he understood their position. "What do I need to do to earn your trust?" The elder smiled slightly, a hint of warmth in her eyes. "You will join us in our fight against the invaders. Show us your skills, and then we will consider letting you stay." Alex nodded, determination flooding through him. "I'll do whatever it takes. I want to help you." As they began to explain the training routines and strategies for defending their home, Alex felt the weight of their culture pressing down on him. It was a clash of worlds, of customs and traditions, but he also felt the excitement of a new challenge ahead. The training. As the sun rose high in the sky, the settlement buzzed with activity. Captain Alex felt a mix of nerves and determination as he prepared for the day ahead. He stood in the center of the village, surrounded by the curious eyes of the alien villagers. They were waiting to see what he could do. Zara and Lyra stood beside him, their expressions encouraging. "You can do this, Alex," Zara whispered, squeezing his arm gently. "Just show them what you're capable of." He nodded, feeling their support bolster his confidence. The elder who had spoken to him earlier, a wise-looking woman named Ilara, stepped forward again. "Today, we will test your skills. We need to see if you are truly worthy of our trust." Alex took a deep breath, ready to show them he belonged. The first part of the training was hand-to-hand combat. Ilara explained that it was crucial for defending themselves against the enemy soldiers. "Remember, it's not just about strength," she said, her voice firm. "It's also about technique and strategy. Our people have faced many battles, and we know how to use our surroundings to our advantage." Several warriors stepped forward to spar with Alex. They moved gracefully, their blue skin shimmering in the sunlight as they demonstrated their skills. Alex watched carefully, trying to absorb their techniques. When it was his turn to fight, he faced off against a tall warrior named Kale. He looked fierce and confident, and Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. They circled each other, waiting for the right moment to strike. Kale lunged first, aiming a swift kick toward Alex's midsection. Alex dodged, remembering his training from the Earth Federation. He countered with a quick jab to Kale's shoulder, surprising him. The crowd murmured, impressed by Alex's agility. Kale retaliated, blocking Alex's next move with ease. They exchanged blows, each one testing the other's reflexes and strength. Alex felt the energy of the crowd behind him, and it fueled his determination. He had to show them he was not just a human. He was a warrior. After several rounds of sparring, Alex felt the sting of fatigue in his muscles, but he pushed through. Each victory, no matter how small, earned him nods of respect from the villagers. Finally, Ilara called for a break. "Enough for now," she said, her voice echoing through the training area. "You have shown promise, human, but physical strength is only part of the battle." Next came the strategic training. The villagers gathered around a large table covered with a map of the surrounding area. Ilara pointed to various locations, explaining their significance. "This is where the enemy camp is located," she said, tracing her finger along the map. "They patrol these areas frequently, and we must find a way to outsmart them." Alex listened intently, eager to learn. He had experience in strategy from his time in the Earth Federation, but this was different. He was now in a foreign land, with different customs and tactics. He needed to adapt. After discussing tactics, the villagers formed small groups to brainstorm ideas. Alex joined a group with Zara and Lyra. "We could set up traps near their camp," Alex suggested, feeling inspired. "If we can distract them, we could create an opening to launch a surprise attack." Zara nodded, her eyes brightening. "That could work. We could use the environment to our advantage." Lyra chimed in. "We know the terrain better than they do. We can hide and attack when they least expect it." Their enthusiasm sparked energy in the group. They discussed their ideas for a while, sharing strategies and brainstorming ways to execute their plans. Alex felt a growing sense of camaraderie among them. As the day went on, Alex participated in various training exercises, learning about alien combat techniques and tactics. He was impressed by the resilience and creativity of the villagers. They adapted quickly, using their unique skills to face the challenges ahead. When the training finally came to an end, the villagers clapped for Alex, and Zara and Lyra beamed with pride. "You did it," Zara exclaimed, wrapping her arms around him in a warm hug. "Thank you for believing in me," Alex said, his heart swelling with gratitude. "I couldn't have done this without you two." Lyra smiled brightly. "You've earned their respect. They see you as one of us now." Ilara approached, her expression more approving than before. "You have shown great potential, Alex. We will need your strength and knowledge in the battles to come. If you can prove your loyalty in the fight, you may find your place among us." With a newfound sense of belonging, Alex nodded, determination solidifying within him. He was ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The unexpected war had forged a bond that went beyond worlds, and together they would fight to protect their future. The night before battle. As night enveloped the settlement, the air buzzed with energy. Villagers gathered around large fires, their faces illuminated by the warm glow. Alex sat with Zara and Lyra, sharing stories and laughter, but a palpable tension lingered beneath the surface. Tomorrow would bring their first real test against the enemy. "I can't believe how quickly you've adapted," Zara said, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "You've trained like you've been one of us for years." Alex smiled, but the weight of the impending battle pressed heavily on his mind. "I couldn't have done it without you both. Your support means everything to me." Lyra leaned in closer, her expression serious. "We have to be ready for anything tomorrow. The enemy won't expect us to fight back. We have the advantage of surprise, but we must use it wisely." "Right," Alex agreed, nodding. "We'll use the traps and distractions we talked about. But we need to be strategic. If things go wrong, we have to know when to retreat." Zara nodded, determination etched on her face. "We will fight for our home, for our culture. We won't let them take that away from us." As the fires crackled, the villagers shared tales of past battles, their voices filled with pride and sorrow. Alex listened intently, feeling the weight of their history. He understood that he was not just fighting for their survival, he was fighting for their identity. Later that evening, as the fires burned low and the moon hung high in the sky, Ilara called for a meeting. The villagers gathered around her, their expressions serious. Alex stood beside Zara and Lyra, ready to hear their leader's words. "We are on the brink of a great battle," Ilara began, her voice steady. "We will fight not just for our lives, but for our future. Remember what you stand for. We fight for each other, for our homes, and for the generations to come." Alex felt a surge of resolve. He was part of something larger than himself, a community that believed in unity and resilience. Ilara continued, "Trust in your skills, trust in each other. Our enemy believes they can take our spirit, but they do not know the strength of our bonds." The villagers cheered, their voices rising in a chorus of determination. Alex felt the fire of their spirit ignite within him. He was no longer an outsider. He was one of them. As the meeting concluded, the villagers began to disperse. Alex turned to Zara and Lyra, his heart racing. "Are you both ready for tomorrow?" "We are," Lyra replied, her voice steady. "But we need to stay focused. Remember, if we get separated, we meet at the old oak tree near the river." Zara nodded, her expression fierce. "We will stick together. I won't let anything happen to either of you." They spent the rest of the night preparing their weapons and checking their traps. Alex felt a sense of camaraderie growing between them, a bond forged in shared purpose and determination. The girls showed him how to use their weapons, blending their unique techniques with his own training. Finally, as the first light of dawn began to break, the air grew quiet. The villagers gathered one last time, their expressions solemn. Ilara addressed them, her voice strong. "Today, we fight as one. Let us honor our ancestors by standing together. We are not just defending our land, we are defending our way of life." With their hearts filled with purpose, the villagers readied themselves for battle. Alex took a moment to look at Zara and Lyra, seeing the determination in their eyes. "No matter what happens, we'll fight together," he promised. They nodded, their expressions resolute. As they set off toward the enemy camp, Alex felt a sense of unity enveloping them. They were more than just allies. They were family now, bound by shared hopes and dreams. As they approached the enemy's territory, Alex couldn't help but feel a surge of adrenaline. He was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, not just for himself, but for Zara, Lyra, and the entire community. The morning air was thick with anticipation as they moved quietly through the trees, hearts pounding in rhythm with their determination. Together, they would stand against the forces that threatened their way of life, ready to fight for their future. The battle would begin soon, but in that moment, they were united in their purpose. They were ready to fight for each other, and nothing would stand in their way. The battle. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the ground as Captain Alex, Zara, Lyra, and the other villagers approached the enemy camp. The tension in the air was palpable, a mix of fear and determination. Alex could feel his heart racing as he scanned the area, searching for any sign of the enemy. Ilara led the way, her expression focused. "Remember our plan," she said, her voice low but firm. "We use the traps and distractions to draw them out. Stay together and trust each other." As they reached the edge of the clearing, Alex caught sight of the enemy camp. The soldiers were gathered around a fire, unaware of the approaching threat. They were a formidable sight, armored and armed, but Alex felt a surge of resolve. He had trained for this moment, and he would not let fear take hold. "Now," Ilara commanded. The villagers moved as one, a wave of determination washing over them. Alex led the charge, his heart pounding as they rushed forward. The plan unfolded quickly. Zara and Lyra moved to set the traps, weaving through the trees with agility. Alex followed Ilara and a group of warriors toward the camp, adrenaline coursing through him. As they got closer, he could hear the enemy soldiers laughing and talking, their voices echoing in the still air. "Get ready," Ilara shouted as they neared the camp. Alex tightened his grip on his weapon, his heart racing. He was about to fight for everything that mattered. As they launched their attack, chaos erupted. The villagers shouted battle cries, and the element of surprise hit the enemy like a wave. Alex charged into the fray, his instincts kicking in as he fought alongside his new friends. He moved with precision, using the combat techniques he had learned from Zara and Lyra. He dodged an enemy's swing, countering with a swift strike to their side. The thrill of the battle surged through him, blending with the sense of purpose that had driven him to this moment. Around him, Zara and Lyra fought valiantly, displaying their skills with confidence. Zara weaved through the soldiers, using her agility to outmaneuver them, while Lyra defended their flank, her fierce spirit shining through every blow. "Keep pushing," Alex shouted, rallying the villagers. They fought fiercely, their determination igniting a fire within them. The enemy was caught off guard, but they quickly regrouped, retaliating with anger. As the battle raged on, Alex felt the weight of his responsibility. He needed to protect Zara and Lyra, but he also needed to help lead their people. He spotted Ilara, guiding a group of villagers to flank the enemy's rear. Inspired, he moved to join her. "Let's push them back," he shouted, rallying the nearby warriors. Together, they surged forward, their spirits united. But just as they began to gain ground, a loud explosion erupted from behind the camp. Alex's heart dropped as he turned to see several villagers caught off guard. The enemy had anticipated their attack and set traps of their own. "Fall back," Ilara shouted, trying to regain control of the situation. Panic surged through the villagers as they scrambled to avoid the chaos. Alex moved to help those who had fallen, but the enemy pressed forward, taking advantage of the confusion. "Zara, Lyra," he called out, desperately searching for his friends in the chaos. He could feel the weight of fear grip him as he fought his way through the melee, determined to find them. Just then, he caught sight of Zara, fighting bravely against two enemy soldiers. She was holding her own, but Alex could see she was struggling. Without thinking, he rushed to her side, blocking a blow aimed at her. "Stay close," he shouted, pushing back against their attackers. Together, they fought fiercely, a seamless dance of defense and offense. Lyra appeared next to them, her expression fierce. "We need to regroup," she urged. "We can't let them divide us." "Right," Alex agreed, his heart racing as they fought back to back. "Follow me." Using his knowledge of the terrain, he led Zara and Lyra through a narrow path in the trees, where they could momentarily escape the fray. They quickly gathered a few other villagers, their breaths coming in quick gasps. Ilara soon joined them, her face grim but determined. "We need to rally the others and attack again. We can't let fear stop us," she urged. With renewed determination, Alex turned to the group. "We need to show them our strength. If we can push them back, we can regain the upper hand. Let's move." As they regrouped, Alex felt a fire ignite within him. The bond he had forged with Zara and Lyra, and the entire community, fueled his spirit. They were fighting for their home, for their future, and nothing would stand in their way.